So when you're getting some of your marketing materials printed up, there's lots to think about, your design and what you're saying, but also what it's printed on is pretty important too and can convey a lot. We're here with Michael from Foote Printing, and he knows a lot about paper stock, and give us some insight, Michael.
Well, yeah, it's really confusing the way they have most papers kind of categorized and marked. You've got bond paper, you've got cover, you've got text, and you've just got all these that you have, like papers are just listed as the thickness of point. And it doesn't make it easy for someone who's not used to dealing with paper to hear, a 100-pound cover, and really know what that means and if that is what they want for their specific project. So I'm going to go through, so paper weights, we have a micrometer, so that measures the thickness of paper. And I personally think that all paper should just be based on that thickness, and then obviously the coating and finish that is on there, but they aren't. So it gets a little bit confusing. So, one way, and most of the papers that we use here at Foote Printing is a text weight. So when you hear text weight, you should be thinking of the insides of a book, the text part of a book. And those are thinner papers. They come uncoated, glossy, and like a silk or matte finish, and we'll get into that information in a second. But those are just thinner papers, and then you have different weights, 60 pound, 70 pound, 80 pound, 100 pound. Obviously, the 100 pound is just a little bit thicker and nicer than the 70 or 60, which is a little bit thinner. But then you also have cover weights. So cover weights, think about, once again, the cover of a book. It's thicker, it's protecting the inside text pages, a little bit more durable. And you have then 65 pound, 80 pound, 100 pound, 120 pound, 130 pound, a million different pounds. And unfortunately, based on what kind of paper they are, the thickness will vary between 100 pounds. So 100 pound silk is a little bit thicker than 100 pound gloss, because when they're making that paper and the way that coating on the outside of that paper will make it just slightly thicker or thinner. And it's just, these are all things you want to consider. It's very confusing. I don't know why they just don't have them by the micrometer thickness and then what kind of finish it is, gloss, silk, or uncoated. But whatever, we can help you figure that out. And I want to go through then uncoated. So uncoated paper, all that means it's like your copy paper. And then it's a different thickness. You could have your normal copy paper, which is either 20 pound or like 60 pound text is what you would call that. But uncoated would just have no coating on it. So then you go to your matte finish, which probably a lot of people have heard. So that's dull, matte, silk. All those words are kind of used for the same stock. That's like a light gloss that's not really too shiny, but isn't just bare paper. And then you have your gloss, which can be, go from a decent gloss to really glossy paper. But gloss is usually all just the same. It looks shiny and it helps your pictures pop. And then obviously there's a whole bunch of different weights to that. And we can help you figure out which one of those three is going to help your project look the best and what weight you want it on for postal regulations or whatever else that you're printing, so that it's not too thick or not too thin and serves the purpose as it should. And that's about it. There's a little bit about paper.
Yeah, and that's it's another example of there's a lot to think about when things get printed up and what you're using. Again, Michael brought up the mailing, the size and the weight of that thing can affect the cost and such. And, these guys, they know all this. So there's a lot to know. They know it. So if you're looking for some really quality printing materials for your marketing and such, get in touch with Foote Printing. They'd be happy to help you. And you can stop by the website right now at footeprinting.com. That's Foote with an E, printing.com.